This is Paul with Ryobi Press Parts with another tutorial. This time we're going to show you how to remove and replace the transfer drum grippers. There's 7 of them across here on the 3302 Ryobi. We're going to be replacing the gripper and the stopper. This gripper here happens to have no pad on it. If you look real closely at the edge, it's just bare metal. They wear off. And this is the stopper. If you look close at this stopper, it's got wear marks in it where the paper actually will put wear marks in the metal and cause nicks in the front of your sheet a lot of times. So we're going to replace both those at the same time. We're going to start out by taking a 2.5mm Allen wrench, removing this bolt. Sometimes they're 3mm on older presses. Come off like that. They just kind of sandwich inside themselves. And there you can see real close there's a little pad on that, molded pad. There's a stopper, brand new stopper, all nice and clean. So these holes are elongated in both of these parts that allow them to move up and down. So basically what we're looking to do is we want, when these are mounted on the press, we want that gap tight. We want these pushed up like that and tight against the cylinder. Then we're going to put a jig in there to adjust the preload. One other thing you want to make sure is that this area up in here is all nice and clean before you put your new stopper, because this gauge is going to go in there and you want a nice clean flat surface to mount all your new stoppers to and grippers. So we're just going to get this started in there. And before we actually adjust it, we're going to go over here on the non-operator side of the cylinder. We're going to simulate the cylinder going around and the grippers opening by just putting a screwdriver under the cam follower bolt. Just putting a little bit of pressure down. You can see how all the grippers are opening and closing. After I do that, I'm going to put a 5/1000 feeler gauge between the stopper on this side. This little lever is called the stopper. There's another one over here. And this is going to allow me to set my preload on the grippers. So now I'm going to take and just snug this down. I'm going to get my tool in there. And I'm going to push up on the stopper and down on the gripper. So I'm pinching the two pieces together and you see how they wiggle. Then I'm going to push up tight to the cylinder as I do that. And then lock the bolt down and pull that out. Now when I get done, I should be able to put a piece of paper in there and not really see any paper in that little valley where the gripper and the stopper meet. Now, with the feeler gauge still in there, what I'm looking to do is make sure all the grippers and stoppers open at the same time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate one of the grippers being out of adjustment. And if you can see, all the grippers are opening at the same time. If I just wiggle a little bit, except for this one. That one's opening late. Your adjustment for that is right down here, 2.5mm Allen. So I'm going to go clockwise, little by little, until I get it just right. So now they all open at exactly the same time. You should also make sure that you have pressure on it. So I'm going to take a sheet of 20 pound. I'm going to push on the bottom here. There's a bolt sticking out of each gripper. I'm going to stick a piece of paper in there, and I should have just a light drag on that. So if I go clockwise, back in there. And counterclockwise. There it's just starting to grab, so I'm going to go back just a little bit. So that's like perfect for that particular gripper. Now when I release my pressure over here, take this gauge back out of here. That's a perfect setting for that gripper. You're going to do it 7 times over. Gripper replacement transfer drum 3302 Ryobi.